was to celebrate my 10th album. Not many people mistook it to be my 10 years old. No, not 10 years old. I've been in the industry for over 35 years professionally. But Jowuro was about 19 years ago.
Okay.
So IMISI was my 10th album.
Oh.
Ejoro was my first. Ebi Jeffrey was my second. Iri was third. Imori fourth. Aju fifth. Sixth. Okpe seventh. Imoshe. Eighth. Iri. Ninth. Isodosun. And then IMISI. So the event was to give thanks that I could be able to have a 10th album. Just to praise God, because for me, I know where I'm coming from, and for me to have got here is a big thing for me. So the event was just to celebrate, to gather people together, for all of us to raise our voices to praise God.
But before the Ejiro, which you started counting for, prior to that, what happened during that period?
I was a backup singer. I was doing backup, doing signature tunes, doing things, that a normal girl would do, wanting to become an actor. I mean, trying to become a newscaster, things like that. That's why I said in the beginning that I've been in the industry for about 35 years. I've worked with many people. There are some of them I can't even remember, but I can remember Auntie Stella Monye, I can remember Uncle Ben Adeboye, I can remember, I think Bragbe, Brother Nka Efele, Kolade Alabi, many larger people. I did the first signature tune for MITV. I did some voiceovers for some adverts, different things, before I now got to have the opportunity to do the soundtrack for Bimbosh's film. Our film Ejoro. I think it was our own first film too, as a producer. So I think I've answered this question.
All right, Marcus, can you tell us how it all started for you? Aside from, you said you went into newscasting and all of that.
I didn't say I went. I said I wanted to.
Okay, you wanted to be. So, how did you now major in? Okay, I'm going to be doing gospel music.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care whether you say I'm doing gospel music or not. I'm doing music. I'm a singer. I'm a musician. I studied music in school. I could have chosen to do any kind of music, but I'm doing this. And I'm not doing my music to I'm doing my music to honor God generally, because I believe that I'm a Christian. That's basic. I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus Christ. But the way I understand what Jesus came to do is the way that I do my music. Jesus didn't come for Christians alone. Jesus didn't come for a particular segment of the society. Jesus came for everybody, anybody who can identify with the message that he brought. Jesus came to direct us back to God, his Father. Jesus didn't come to found a religion. It is the people who believe in the essence of Jesus, the people who believe in the message of Jesus, that were called Christians by the things those people saw them do. So, like I said, it's just my understanding of what Jesus came for. So I don't want to put myself in. If you say I'm doing gospel, it's okay. But for me, I'm a singer.
So tell us a bit about that event.
Well, the event was just a simple one, but that turned out to be more than that to me. I just wanted.
You looked elaborate.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be elaborate. I just wanted. I like to put excellence in everything that I do. So I just wanted to use a good environment, pay for a good hall with a good ambience. I mean, put things in place, the screen, the sound, and all of that. Just basically do things well. And the way people turned out, the place had the capacity of containing about 800 to 1,000 people. But we were thinking maybe like 500 people would show up. The events I had done in the past, I always made them private. I always made them strictly by invitation. But this one, because it's my 10th album, I just thought, okay, let's make it open to everybody. So we invited everybody And I thought everybody would just be, maybe some people, but it got to a point there was no space for people to come in or for people to sit down and all of that. I mean, it amazed me, it humbled me, it made me feel very honored that after all these things that I'm doing, it's not about exciting people, it's about transforming people's mind. It's about people want to come, they want to hear. And usually, in an event, people come and go, and at some point the hall becomes empty. But in this case, people were there, the place was filled up till after we finished. And the testimonies, the feedbacks that I've been getting since after the event was, oh, my mind was transformed. Oh, I was becoming weak before, but when I came to your event, I got that strength to continue with life again. I thought there was nothing good about me, but when you told your story, it made me know that I can become great in life and things like that. So the event was originally before just to give thanks and praise God and show people that whoever you are, you too can achieve something. So I wanted to do it in a very little, not little, in a very modest way. But the way people turned out and all of that, it humbled me actually, and it gave me more confidence to know that this path I'm working. Of course, I had confidence before, but it gave me more confidence. My level of confidence rose that I must continue this. Not, there is room for changes and improvements and all of that, but I must continue being myself, retaining my authenticity, being me, because it's helping a lot of people, especially young ones.
I've always asked you that question about what makes you different from the next. Um, is it have you updated now? Your close.
Next singer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Because I know on stage that day you try to explain to people from the next year.
Well, it's not like I tell my story as truthfully as possible. So childhood was very traumatic for me. I didn't go to school at the right time. My mates were going to school. There were things I didn't have that my mates were having. I was deprived of many things, majorly love. You understand? I tried to find love by myself. And you'll assume that this person loves you. Not only, I'm not talking about only man and woman relationship now. You think that uncle loves you, or that auntie, or that sister or brother. And now when I grew enough to be having boyfriends, you think, that love I've been looking for, or maybe this is it and all of that. You won't know that the guy has his own agenda. Put all your life in somebody's hands, and later, you get disappointed, and not just disappointed, you get wounded. You understand? You get wounded from within. So different kinds of things like that. Until I got to, and that's what I believe we call becoming born again in Christianity. Until I got to the point where I heard the me inside me speak to me. And we Christians will say it's the Holy Spirit. Some people will say it's in Yoruba mythology will say it's Orimi or Egbemi talking to me and all of that. So I got to know that all these ups and downs of my life, they are there not by mistakes. They are there because there are some things I need to go through for me to become what I'm supposed to become. I didn't know where I was coming, but at that point, when I was able to hear that voice, I began to step back, and look at the whole thing and recalibrated in my head. I knew that, okay, I want to walk this journey in a different way. You understand? I think I'd always been a good girl. I think, but I think I've always been a good girl that's looking for what everybody's looking for and all of that. But at that point, when I was able to audibly hear that voice tell me that, no, this is not the plan. That's not that way you are working is not the plan. Take it easy. Oh yeah, let's start working together. Then I began to be more intentional about my journey, knowing that I began to own my story, own my journey. Before I would be like, why me? Why is this happening to me? But I got to the point where I began to own my journey, to identify with the peculiarities of my own destiny, and know that this is your own journey, Olushola, walk it like your own. So that was, and luckily, fortunately for me, that was around the time Ejoro began. Ejoro came. So I was doing backup and all of that. Around the time that I began to be more intentional about life, that I began to refuse to be treated like I was raised, was when I got the opportunity of Ejoro and many other opportunities at that time. But Ejoro was the one that made me a household name, so to speak. So, I mean, it was that point that I just knew that I needed to work my life differently. I didn't have to base it on this is how I was raised, so that's how I must be. I decided, I chose, of course, with grace from above, to know that this is my journey, this is how I work it. Other people are working it like this. No, that's not how. This is how justifiably I should be, but that's not how my destiny was made to be. So I began to cooperate with the Spirit of God the way I was able to interpret it then, and here we are.
Let's talk about the making of Ejoro. How was it? Was it the case that you just did it like another album and it became a huge success, or you got the inspiration, you knew it was going to be big, and
I didn't know it was going to be big. My mantra every time is whatever my hands find to do, I do it very well. Whatever, if I'm sweeping, this is my song. Our last born for now. He wants Aburo, but we are thinking, this is my last born. Anything my hands find to do, I do it very well. If I'm sweeping in the house, if I'm washing plates, if I'm everything. So since I was a young lady, doing all these things, I would always put my best into everything that I do. So it was the same thing that led me to all the albums in which I did backup. I will always do it well. So when I hear them today, I'll just be laughing and praising God that I'll be remembering the things that happened in the studio at the time I was doing it and all of that. So it was the same spirit that by which I put in all of myself into doing it. So they gave me the soundtrack to do, and because I wasn't a known person, the money they gave me wasn't good money.
Okay, so you were meant to do it.
I was contracted to
okay.
do the soundtrack. Okay. It was a Bimbo Shins film.
Okay.
And Uncle Ibronke, God bless his soul, was the executive producer. It wasn't Bimbo's husband then, we were workmates and all of that. So, and they gave me the thing to do. So I wasn't looking at the money. I just wanted to express myself well. As a member of the choir, as the cultural dance in school, as debating and writing, I would just do everything well. To the extent that people around me would think, Akilo J, Woni, go later now. But everything my hand finds to do, I do them well. So that was the same spirit that I carried into writing the songs for Ejoro. So I read the script, I saw the preview copy, and then it was a love story. And then the cries of my heart at that time, I didn't say cry, I said cries, because there were different things I wanted, So I put them after reading the script and watching the preview copy. So it's in a way matched with the kind of things I wanted. So I sang the song. Of course, before I arrived at the lines of those songs, there were some I would have cancelled, there were some of course I heard whispers in my ears about this is what to write, what to do. Many times it's like somebody is singing to me what I should sing. Even it still happened to me. The last time I performed was Sunday. Yeah, I was in Ibadan Sunday. And it would be like somebody is singing the next thing I'm supposed to say to me. So it was the same thing with Ejoro. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. No matter how much the Spirit of God is in me, it's my experiences and my knowledge that will determine how I put it out. So the things in my heart that I wanted in a relationship, in love, and all of that, I just put all the energy into writing the song, and I made sure I did it well. Some of my friends that knew me at that time, they thought they gave me a lot of money, but the money they gave me, I can't even disclose it because it wasn't a very interesting one. But here we are today because I did it well, regardless of the money that was involved.
Okay, so Ijoro was a song, not an album.
Yeah, Ejowuro, you know the song.
Song.
We did Ejowuro, we did Akosile, we did Omotuntun. Omotuntun was not in the soundtrack. Ejowuro, Akosile, Orekelewa. Those were the songs in the film.
Okay.
And you know that film soundtracks are always less than 1 minute most of the time. So we did them in like 1 minute. So it was when they were planning to release the film. So Uncle Ola was a very innovative person. He thought, instead of Badawale Lawal that usually did all these, the adverts to say, well, I'm coming soon and all of that, he thought we should shoot, he liked the songs. And he thought we should shoot a mini video. I'll be singing the songs. They'll be showing some parts of the film. Then they will put the advertisements on the screen. So that was what they did. So as they were advertising the film, I was becoming popular because a bit of me, my video singing, would be somewhere on the screen. So after they had released the film, Uncle Ola now thought the songs were too big to be left in a film, that we should remake the songs into a full album. So I now went back to rewrite the songs to make them longer, to make them album worthy. You know, cassette worthy. A full cassette there was like 42 minutes, 45 minutes. So, and these songs were like 3 minutes. So I needed to rewrite Akosile, Ayofe, I think, yeah, Ayofe, Rekelewa, Ejowuro, then I now put Omotuntun.
So looking back at your entire career now, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel still have a long way to go? Do you feel you're on the right path?
I feel I'm on the right path actually. But I am fulfilled. The kind of fulfillment I have is not, fulfillment is a daily thing. It's not just one thing. Like they say, success is a journey. If I say I'm successful, for today I am, but I still want to be successful tomorrow. And if I'm not careful, I could be successful today and not be successful tomorrow. So it's a journey. So fulfillment is a journey, but I'm fulfilled. I'm very immensely grateful to God that I could find my path, considering the kind of journey I walked as a child. You know, it would look like I will end up on the other side. And what I mean on the other side is I'm not looking down on people on the other side. I know they are all still walking their own journey. I know we can't write anybody off. The story is still being written. I know that. But for me to be here, I'm filled with gratitude always. And I know I'm walking the right path. And how do I know I'm walking the right path? It's not because I have a lot of money. It's not because I think of myself as the best. It's because this little light that I'm shining is helping a lot of people. And it humbles me when I meet people where I was coming and I was a bit early. So branched. I stopped at one fashion place in Bagada. The lady, I knew her from Ibadan. So she gave me the address. So I got, as I entered, the way all of them were wondering if it was me or not. And later when they got to know it was me, one lady came and whispered in my ear, like, thank you for this particular song, your new album. That in fact that's what she's listening to now. This is what the song does for her. And this is just one of the numerous testimonies. In One City People Award I came about 14 years ago. I came from Ibadan. It was somewhere in GRA. It was me and Segun Oluwayomi. You said we should come and perform together. I came there, one woman came to meet me after I had performed. And she said, are you sure this is you? I said, that's me now. She said she had been barren for many, many years. And she promised herself that year, if she didn't get pregnant and give birth because of all the troubles that she had seen, that she was going to kill herself. And that was the year that Gbejefuri came out. It was Gbejefuri that held her. And she got pregnant later. She could have killed herself earlier without waiting and thinking that was the end. It was Gbejefuri, that was my second album, that helped her. It was the words of the song that helped her. You know, there are many, many testimonies. I found true light that I'm shining is helping a lot of people. And it humbles me when I meet people where I was coming and I was a bit early. So is it branched? I stopped at one fashion place in Bagada. The lady, I knew her from Ibadan, so she gave me the address. So I got, as I entered, the way all of them were wondering if it was me or not. And later when they got to know it was me, one lady came and whispered in my ear that, thank you for this particular song, a new album. That in fact that's what she's listening to now. This is what the song does for her. And this is just one of the numerous testimonies. In One City People Award I came about 14 years ago. I think I came from Ibadan. It was somewhere in GRA. It was me and Shegolo Ayomi. You said we should come and perform together. I came there and one woman came to meet me after I had performed. And she said, are you sure this is you? I said, that's me now. She said she had been barren for many, many years. And she promised herself that year, if she didn't get pregnant and give birth because of all the troubles that she had seen, that she was going to kill herself. And that was the year that Bejefuri came out. It was Bejefuri that held her. And she got pregnant later. She could have killed herself earlier without waiting and thinking that was the end. It was Bejefuri, that was my second album, that helped her. It was the words of the song that helped her. You know, there are many, many testimonies. I found myself in places, you know, outside the country where somebody will come and meet me and say, when I was in Nigeria, it was your song that this is that. I mean, I've had testimonies of somebody that was on her way to go and commit suicide. She was on her way into is it a forest or somewhere to go and commit suicide, and on the way there was all these CD selling people, you know, one of them was playing Norolua, and on the way she heard them playing the song and she had a change of mind, and then she had written a suicide note. She had left a suicide note at home that she was going to kill herself or nobody should have. It was on the way that she heard a CD vendor, you know, playing one of my songs, and she changed her mind. Numerous testimonies of big, like when I say big people in this country that have come to me, and I'll be so humbled that this me. So my music cuts across classes. You know, people who are big, people who are not so big, people who we say as ordinary people will just come to me and say, I was a tout on the streets before. It was your song and the things that you say that helped me. I'm a lawyer now. You know, or I was a runs girl before, I was a prostitute before. It was the Obrinini song that made me see I'm married now, I have my job now. You know, all those kind of things, they humble me. So I know I'm on the right path.
If you had to address a room filled with, let's say, 500 women, what would be your message to them? And what has always been your message to women who you meet along life?
My message for every woman that I meet, then, especially now, is that we have our place. Why are we struggling with the men? If you know yourself, abuse is inevitable if you don't know the use of whatever that you have. Why, especially these days, why is this gender war? Why? I don't want to be a man. I'm not king anything. I'm not King Shola. I don't want to be a king. I'm not a king. The queen has a place. There are many things that the king can never achieve without the queen. Even the king's personal life cannot be orderly without the queen. So the man cannot function well without the woman. The maker of heaven and earth, the being that made us, knew. The story we have is that it was a man that was first made. Why wasn't the man left alone by himself? It's because I was needed as a woman. The man was complete and all of that, but I was needed for the general well-being of the man. And I'm not saying because these days you have to choose your words very well so that you won't be misquoted. I'm not saying the only thing a woman is good for is to be in the man's life and take care of him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in creation generally, the feminine energy, the feminine power cannot be overemphasized. It is needed all the time. There is nothing that can be done without the feminine energy. Nothing. can be done. So why am I fighting with the man? Why do I want to take the place of the man? Oh, things have gone upside down. But if I know myself, there are some particular ways that I will not dress. Some people come, and there was a designer that used to design my clothes when at some time before she would tell me, why you let us design something that will fit your body. You have a very beautiful body. I would say it's not body I'm selling, it's essence that I'm showing. I don't want to put she has a good shape, she has a good body. And that's not what I want to sell. I want to sell essence. I want to sell the beauty of my soul, not the beauty of my body. I want to show people the beauty of my soul. So what I would tell an average woman is what I'm saying. You are not in competition with the man. Know your place. We are functionally different. The man has his own function. Me, I have my own function. There's no need for fight, even for the men too. So it has now become gender war. If you say, this what that man did is not good, he shouldn't have done it, they will say, but talk to the woman too. If you say what the woman did, it was not good, they say, but talk to the men too. No, let us focus on what is not good, what is bad. So generally, I would tell women, and what I tell women is that we are not in competition with the men. Let us discover our place and feel our place as well.